Hello, this is Brian Houle. I am a solutions consultant with Beyond 20, and today I want to look at record locking in Cherwell Service Management. I'm actually looking at the version 6, but this particular feature was introduced in the version 5 series of Cherwell, and it's pretty cool. Previous to the introduction of this feature, multiple people could conceivably be editing the same record at the same time, and whoever saved last sort of won that race. In other words, the person who saved last overwrote the changes of the person who did not save last, and it could run into some trouble. So record locking is a very cool feature that helps remove that situation from possibility. So record locking really removes that problem. So let's have a look. So I'm on an incident ticket right now, and you'll notice that I have this unlocked icon at the top. That means that the ticket is unlocked and anybody can be editing it. Now, if I go in and start editing, making changes on this form, you'll notice I just put a space in the description field, and already this is changed to locked by you. And if I hover over it, I get a tooltip telling me that the record was locked by the current user at 8:24 a.m. and the lock will expire in about 30 minutes. So remember that 30 minutes, that'll be important. So monitor is broken really bad. So as you notice, when I start editing, it automatically locks. Now, if I save it, it unlocks, and that's very handy. So now Cherwell is smart enough to understand that somebody else can come in and edit this record now because I'm done. Now, if I were editing it again and it gets locked again, as you see, I can actually manually unlock this if I was so inclined by clicking it, and I'll get a little pop-up that says the locked record has been updated. Unlocking will cause all changes to be lost. Do you want to unlock the record? I'll go ahead and click yes. I'm not sure under which conditions I would want to do that, but that possibility does exist. So it's pretty great. This might be useful if somebody was editing a record and walks away from their desk, and instead of locking that record out for 30 minutes, you can come in and unlock it. That's possibly one situation where that would be very useful. So that's what unlocking looks like in the blue pill. Let's pop over to our orange pill. The blue pill being the desktop client, the thing that help desk technicians would be working in on a day-to-day basis. The orange pill, affectionately so called, is the administration tool, and this is where system administrators can edit system settings and alter the structure of the database, all kinds of fun things like that. So for record locking to be configured, we can go into, I lied, it's not security, we go into settings, and we'll go into edit system settings, and you'll see locking is on this left pane. This is new if you're coming from the version 4. So let's select it. Now out of the box we have some default record locking settings. So the first tick box here is we can enable it globally, and I do believe it comes out of the box enabled. If I want to disable record locking, I just untick that, and we are in the Wild West as far as accessing records are concerned. So I'll turn it back on because I do want it. The general section gives us some more functions. So if I can unlock records when the user session ends, which is very useful if you're using sort of idle boot in Cherwell. So if somebody does not use the blue pill for a long time, it will kick them out of the system and free up their concurrent license. And this is just tells you if you want to have notifications when those are possible for status changes. So we can go down to major business object defaults. So default lock type is enforced or informational. So does it prevent you from actually changing the record, or does it just tell you that the lock is in place? Here is that feature, lock record upon editing. We saw that when I was in the smart client. When I started editing the record, it automatically locked. Unlock record upon saving, we saw that as well. And remember I showed you over here when we lock the record, If we hover over it with that tooltip, we have a 30-minute expiration on the lock. And that's where this is defined. So you can increase this, or you can decrease that length of time in minutes. And then finally, this last one is minutes before lock expiration to notify users. So I'm going to notify users of lock expiration within 1 minute. And then finally, the maximum number of locks a user can have records a user can have locked at one time per business object type is 3. So that means you might want to play with this setting because if you have an operation where you're opening and closing a lot of records and touching a lot of records, 3 might not be enough. But for most purposes, it is. Most day-to-day use of record locking. And then finally, this is new, I do believe, in version 6, where it says Portal. Portal participates in record locking, so we're going to hide that from Portal users when possible, but that means that if a Portal user is editing a record, then that is included in all of this. So that is those are our record locking system settings. So I'm going to cancel out of there, and there's a new feature in version 6 that I think we might have covered in another video. Now what I'll do is show you another feature that I think is new in version 6. If we create a new blueprint, I'm going to look at the incident object. I'm going to edit the business object, click business or BizOb properties to look at the properties of this object, and I have a record locking icon here. And what this tells me is this is going to allow me to set record locking options for this business object, which is going to override the global locking defaults. So those settings that I set in system settings. So these will apply just to incidents. So this is kind of cool because this opens up your flexibility quite a bit. So for instance, if I wanted to have a longer or shorter lock expiration on incident, I can go ahead and increase or decrease that. And I can set these guys, these settings individually for this business object. Very cool. And then when I'm done, I can, or if I'm done and I don't like how it works, I can just click here to restore incident to the global lock settings. So let's just change a few things here. Say that, and let's give them. If I don't like that or how it works in operation, I can just click that and it will restore everything to the basics. So that, in a nutshell, is record locking in Cherwell Service Management version 6. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Cherwell videos. Thank you.